The story begins in a quiet backstage corner of America's Got Talent. The bright lights of the theater and the buzzing crowd outside feel a world away from the life this young Filipino boy has known. He stands nervously, clutching the microphone, his small hands trembling as though they carry the weight of his entire life. His clothes are simple, clean but old, showing signs of careful patchwork, a symbol of the struggles he has endured. Despite his fragile frame, there is a determination in his eyes, a fire that poverty has not managed to extinguish. The host gently asks about his story, and the boy begins to speak softly, almost whispering. He shares how he grew up in a small, cramped home in the Philippines, where every day was a fight for survival. His father worked tirelessly, but the income was never enough to keep food on the table. Sometimes there was rice, sometimes nothing at all. As the oldest child, he felt responsible for helping his mother and siblings. His way of helping: singing. From the age of 6, he sang in markets, on street corners, and outside small restaurants. People passing by would sometimes stop and listen, tossing a few coins into his little box. It wasn't much, but it meant bread for dinner, or medicine when his sister was sick. He explains that music became his shield. When hunger gnawed at his stomach, he sang. When sadness filled the house, he sang. His voice was his only escape, the only thing that made him believe life could be better. His eyes glisten as he recalls nights when he sang himself to sleep, hoping one day someone important might hear him. The audience, listening through the big screen, begins to quiet down. For them, this is more than just another audition, it is a window into the life of a boy who carried the weight of survival through song. The judges lean in, especially Simon, who is usually quick with a sharp comment. Something about the boy's fragile voice, speaking so honestly, touches a nerve even before he sings. The boy looks toward the stage entrance, takes a deep breath, and whispers to himself, "This is for my family." His words carry the gravity of someone who has lived through hardship far beyond his years. He is not just singing for a chance at fame, he is singing for survival, for dignity, and for a future where his family no longer has to struggle. When he finally steps out, the stage lights blind him, but he straightens his posture. The camera zooms in on his nervous smile, and the audience claps warmly, encouraging him. No one in that room knows yet the kind of voice that is about to emerge, but already, hearts are softened. The boy, who once sang for coins in the streets, is about to sing for the world. The boy walks to the center of the stage, and for a brief moment, the enormous AGT theater feels like it could swallow him whole. Thousands of eyes are fixed on him. The judges wait silently, pens ready, while Simon rests his chin on his hand, studying the boy carefully. The host gives him a reassuring nod from backstage. He grips the microphone with both hands, steadying himself. The music begins, gentle piano notes echo through the hall. The boy closes his eyes, takes one deep breath, and then sings the first line. The note trembles at first, soft and fragile, like a whisper carried on the wind. The audience leans forward, unsure of what to expect. But then, as the melody rises, something extraordinary happens. The boy's voice grows strong, pure, and piercingly emotional. It is not just singing, it is a cry from the soul. Each word he delivers feels like it has been carved out of his lived experience. The verses speak of pain, struggle, and the longing for a better tomorrow. People in the audience wipe tears from their eyes, struck by the rawness of his tone. It is clear that this is not a rehearsed performance, it is a story told through music, one he has lived and breathed since childhood. As the song climbs to its chorus, his voice soars, surprising everyone in the room. The power in his high notes contrasts with the fragility of his frame, creating an almost otherworldly effect. The theater, usually filled with chatter and whispers, is silent except for his voice. The judges exchange looks of awe. Simon sits up straighter, his eyes locked on the boy as though he is witnessing something rare. Midway through the performance, the boy's voice cracks, not out of weakness but out of pure emotion. That crack sends a ripple through the audience. It is not imperfection, it is authenticity. The crowd understands that every note is soaked with the boy's personal battles. He is not trying to impress, he is trying to survive. As the final chorus builds, the boy digs deep, pushing his voice higher, fuller, stronger. His eyes shine with tears, his chest heaves, but he doesn't let go. He pours every ounce of himself into the song, as though this might be the last chance he will ever get. The song ends with a breathtaking sustained note that echoes across the hall like a prayer sent to the heavens. Then, silence. For a moment, no one breathes. The boy lowers the microphone, his body trembling, unsure of how the audience will respond. And then, it begins, a wave of applause, cheers, and a standing ovation. People rise from their seats, clapping through tears. Some clap above their heads, as though to show that this moment is greater than themselves. The boy stares at the crowd, overwhelmed. He has never seen so many people stand for him. In his hometown, he sang for coins. Here, he has moved thousands to tears. The theater erupts into thunderous applause, echoing like a storm. Confetti hasn't fallen yet, but the moment already feels magical. The boy stands in the center of the stage, clutching the microphone against his chest, tears streaming down his cheeks. For a second, he doesn't know whether to bow, smile, or simply cry. The judges are on their feet. Heidi claps with both hands above her head, her face glowing with pride. Sophia wipes away tears, whispering, "Incredible." Howie shakes his head, as though words have failed him. And then, the camera turns to Simon Cowell. Simon, known around the world for his sharp critiques and brutally honest remarks, is visibly moved. His eyes are glistening, and his usual stern expression has softened. He leans toward the microphone, his voice quieter than usual. "You know," he begins, pausing to compose himself, "I've done this show for many years, and I don't cry easily. But, what you just did, what you just shared with us, it broke me." The boy listens, tears flowing freely now. Simon continues, "This wasn't just a song. This was your life, your fight, your soul. You sang not just to sing, you sang to survive. And we all felt it. Every single person in this room felt it." The crowd cheers, echoing Simon's words. The boy nods, overwhelmed, whispering, "Thank you, sir." His small, trembling voice contrasts with the power he just displayed in his singing, making the moment even more emotional. Simon sits back for a moment, his hand hovering over the panel. The audience senses something is about to happen. Chants begin to rise from the crowd. "Golden buzzer. Golden buzzer." The other judges smile knowingly, as if they too are waiting for it. Simon looks at the boy one last time and says, "You don't need to worry anymore. From this moment on, your life is going to change." Then, with a swift, decisive motion, he slams the golden buzzer. The theater explodes in celebration. Golden confetti rains down from above, shimmering under the stage lights like a shower of dreams come true. The boy falls to his knees, his tiny frame shaking as he cries into his hands. For years he sang on the streets for coins, and now, in front of millions, he has received the ultimate validation. His tears sparkle as they mix with the golden glitter covering the stage floor. Simon stands up and, breaking his usual distance, walks onto the stage. The audience gasps, "This is rare." He kneels beside the boy, gently placing a hand on his shoulder, and says, "You're going to go far. Remember this moment. You deserve it." The boy, still in disbelief, hugs Simon tightly. The camera pans across the audience, capturing mothers holding their children, families hugging, strangers wiping tears from their cheeks. This isn't just an audition, it is a universal reminder of resilience, hope, and the power of music to lift someone out of darkness. As the confetti continues to fall, the boy raises his eyes toward the ceiling, whispering a quiet prayer of gratitude. For the first time in his life, he is not just a boy who sang to survive, he is a boy who sang to win, to inspire, and to prove that even the smallest voice can move the world.